What we're going to talk about to begin with is hand grenade attacks and how you're going to survive it. But it's not just hand grenade attacks, it could be improvised explosive devices. You hear this all the time called IEDs. Now, some of you are probably thinking, well, I'm never going to be in a combat zone. This is not ever going to happen to me. Who's going to toss a grenade at me? But go back only just a few years ago to the Columbine High School attack, and what people have forgotten is that these two boys made their own improvised explosive devices, and actually a few of them exploded. And of course, this is stuff that people get on the internet. They buy these what we call bomb cookbooks on the market, and you can still find this around. So don't think that you're immune from explosive devices. So what I have in my hand here is a training grenade. Now this one is inert. There's no explosive in it, and it's purely for training. Now, unless you can run faster than the speed of sound, you're not going to outrun a grenade. And yet that's what most people think they have to do. So the truth is, I'm going to teach you a military technique that's taught all over the world that's going to give you a 90% survival rate if you do this. Now, obviously, in warfare, nothing is guaranteed, but a few little tricks can save your life. And let's give it a try. All right, a terrorist has thrown a hand grenade in my direction, and it has landed on the ground by my feet. I'm going to take you step by step and show you the first thing. First thing is, you don't want to just drop to the ground right now. You want to get away from this. So I don't have much time because I have to assume it's going to explode. So what you need to do is take a good step away from it and then dive onto the ground. All right, my feet are pointing in the direction of the hand grenade. I need to take my two legs and slap them together, and now I have the heels and the soles of my feet pointing to the hand grenade. Now, should any of the 2% of the shrapnel that follows the horizon come in my direction, hopefully my feet absorb the metal. Hopefully my legs absorb the metal before it gets to any critical areas in my body. So your legs are your first defense. Now, I need to take my elbows and tuck them in. If I have my arm out, under my armpit is, of course, my artery. And I don't want a piece of shrapnel ripping my artery or I could bleed to death here. So I need to tuck in my elbows. The next thing I need to do is put my head on the ground, my forehead right on the ground. Then I will take my hands and cover my ears. Then I will open my mouth. Now I'm gonna, so you can see this clearly, I'm gonna pretend I'm on the ground right now. So my arms are tucked, my hands are covering my ear, I close my eyes. The reason I close my eyes is a lot of dust might be coming up underneath me, obviously because of this explosion. I then open my mouth, and I keep it open. Why do I do that? Well, that explosion is going to create what we call a shock front. Some of you know the slang, a shock wave. And this is basically the molecules being rapidly compressed. So you're going to have a pressure change. And if you close your mouth and you don't have your mouth open, your lungs will be a different pressure than the outside atmosphere. What does that mean? It means your lungs could collapse if you're too close to this. And that's not good. So you keep your mouth open and you will equalize the pressure. And then you shouldn't have any problem. Now, in the military, I've thrown plenty of live fragmentation grenades, and even from here, as long as you follow those steps, you're going to be okay. Now, obviously, if I was standing near, a car or something, and I'm close enough that I could dive behind it, yes, I'm going to seek cover before getting on the, on the ground. But if you're in an open area, like this warehouse, and you can't get to cover in time, you dive for the ground. So I'm going to go back over here and basically just show you in real speed what it looks like. However, you have one moral obligation. Now, I'm in a warehouse by myself at the moment, but what about if you're in the airport and some terrorist throws a hand grenade in there? What about if you're in a train station, or use your imagination, someone throws a pipe bomb into the middle of your work? Well, you have one moral obligation, and that is to yell out, "Grenade!" As loud as you can, yell out the word grenade. Now, there's only two people who are going to respond to that command. People who've been in military, and especially combat units like the Marine or the Army, And reality-based personal protection students. Most people are going to, what's he talking about? Or I saw one of those in Saving Private Ryan, but I don't know what to do. So yell out grenade, and you've already warned everybody. So I see it, it bounced next to me, grenade! And it goes off. But let's imagine, for example, that we're in a situation where we're in civilian life. This is my brother-in-law, or it could be my father, my grandfather, or in your case, it could be the same thing, or a coworker. And maybe you're on a trip to somewhere for business. And him and I are facing each other, and we're talking. We're just waiting to see when the flight comes up on the board. And all of a sudden, someone tosses a grenade. Now, obviously, you know, we're going to show this close, you know, so you can see it, you know. But what are the chances of a grenade landing right at your feet? Okay, you know, it could be a little further away, but regardless of what the distance is, the technique's going to be the same. So the first thing I do is I look at that grenade, and of course I yell out, grenade! I let everyone hear it. Now, this person has no experience, so he doesn't know what's going on, so I will quickly spin him around and face him away from the weapon. I will then take the back of his neck and his head as a unit and just shove him to the floor. Now he doesn't know what to do. So I'm going to lay on top of him and my feet are spread like this. Then I'm going to click my heels together. What this does is forces his legs together. Now, as far as he's concerned, I've met my moral obligation. I've already increased his chances of survival by 90%. So he's on his own from here on out. Now, on top of him, I'm going to worry about myself. So I'm going to put my feet together. I'm going to put my elbows together. I'm going to put my head on top of his. And I'm going to, in order to equalize the pressure, I'm going to start saying, stay down, grenade, explosive, stay down, stay down. And I'm going to do everything else. So you can hop up, Steve.